Hi guys, it's Kelly Fusco here, one of the design team members at Miss Ink Stamps. For today's video, I'm pretty excited because I'm going to be using one of my favorite stencils. That's the In and Out stencils from Miss Ink Stamps, and it's the marquee version. I'm using Season Greetings, another one of my holiday favorites, and Calm and Bright, which will always be one of my favorite Christmas stamps ever. Okay, so moving on, with this video I'm going to be doing is focusing on mass producing Christmas cards that are not bulky to keep the cost of postage down. So I laid out my Christmas tree from the Calm and Bright, and I also laid out my sentiment, wishing you happy holidays to you and yours. Now what's great about this image and mass producing it is that the areas to color are so very small. The little leaves on the tree require very little, like one stroke, and the leaf is colored. So what I did was I just used two greens. I colored the leaves in, and then I just went back in with a darker green and just put a little bit of darker at the base of the leaf. Now, in my Copics, the ones I use mostly, I take out the chisel nib and I put in a fine nib, so I'm able to get into small areas. So now that all my images, I didn't focus on the coloring because that's really not what this video is about. It's more about laying out cards and mass producing quickly. So I just colored those quick, I stamped them off, and now I'm lining up. This stencil has etching around the back. So I'm putting tape on the back of my stencil where I want my frame to be. Now I'm not using pigment ink, I'm using dye ink because I didn't want the pigment ink to smear. Sometimes it takes longer to dry, and I didn't want to do that since I was mass producing. So I just used basic Memento Tuxedo Black dye ink, and I went around the edges. I kept the tape on there so I knew exactly where to put the next, so the tape was on there for the next panel. I did 4 in this video. And I cleaned it off, wiped it off so I wouldn't get too much black ink on my fingers. I was afraid to transfer the ink to the white card front. I didn't, knowing me, that's something I would do. Surprisingly enough, I managed to ink blend all 4 frames on my panels without getting ink on my fingers. Oh, ink transfer, I should say. So the next thing I did here was just trim off 1/8 of an inch from each panel all the way around. So this way I would have a white border on my card panel. And I'm just gluing them super quick down onto my card bases. As you can see here, I just did all 4. Now here is where the special, I don't know what you want to call it, to make the card reel stand out a little bit more so it's not as clean and simple. I added, instead of coloring the snow on the Christmas tree, I added white stickles to the snow to make it sparkle. And I just went around, instead of, you can use a shimmer pen, or you can even color the snow with like a warm gray. I've done that before with this image. But I really wanted to save time and focus on, again, mass producing cards. And so instead of coloring the snow, I use stickles in its place, and it gives so much sparkle. It's hard to see on camera, but it really gives a lot of sparkle. Then I just took a little bit of red and added little red dots like ornaments, that type of thing. And then I took a blue, a nice bright blue, and I did the same thing. I just added some blue dots as if they were ornaments, just to add a little bit of pop of color, a little more sparkle to my panel. And that's it. That's all I did. And I also added a little bit of stickles to the base of the tree to look like snow. And that's it. My card is done. Oh wait, no, I'm lying. I forgot about this step. I took a little bit of Nouveau glaze and I put glaze on the eyes of the owl. And in some of the cards, I did put a little bit of stickles on the wings of the owls also. So that's it. Look how quick that was. These cards took me, well, I had to let them dry, but overall, the process took me maybe a half hour. Just to do them all. And that was 4 cards. And as a matter of fact, I made a couple more when I wasn't filming. So I think I have maybe 8 of them. So that's how quick it was to make this. I love this stamp set. I love this layout because it's a beautiful card with a lot of sparkle, and it didn't take much time at all. And then one card here, I'm going to show you in a minute, I added stickles around the black frame just to make it a little different. And I used red instead of clear for the base of the tray. And I add a little bit red. And on the frame, I used clear stickles, but it gives a little bit of a sparkle on the frame. Just something a little different. That's one of the cards that I did off camera. So that's it, guys. So those are my cards. You'll see here pictures in a moment. If you get a chance, please consider liking and subscribing and stopping by on the Miss Ink website and Instagram, Facebook for more inspiration from the design team. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all have a great holiday. Bye-bye.